Welcome back to another episode of the Grand Rising Experience. For now, we're doing away with any intros, ads, promos, etc. We're just going to dive right into the content because that's what you're here for anyway, right? So if you've been with me on a journey since 2020 and supported my contribution to 369 Media, you've probably noticed that I have been abnormally quiet since June of 2022. And it's because an expected yet profoundly enlightening and much needed reset required that I pull back my energy so that I can thoughtfully and intentionally integrate a lifetime of experiences and lessons. And over the past few months, I have found myself in yet another substantial paradigm shift. And if you know what that's like, you know. And I have completely detached myself from any form of news, social media, and I was pretty much off social media anyway, but I ditched Telegram. Any groups that I was a part of, theories that I was attached to, systems that I was seeking solutions within in favor of just clearing my mind and my energy so that I can more deeply align with my truth, because I really wasn't sure what that was anymore. And it's become a truth that I now feel cosmically pushed to share with you now. And it's going to come in the form of what I believe are 5 universal truths that you can no longer afford to ignore because your higher self is calling them in. Truth number 1, you are the creator of your reality. Right now, in 2023, we are all being called to remember the truth of who we are. And that is a truth that stretches far beyond anything that can be understood by the ego or the logical mind. And it's embedded in the truth that you are the creator of your reality, and all thoughts you are manifesting that guide you to believe that any type of external force is creating your reality are rapidly rising to the surface to be observed and cleared. And right now, we're in the midst of this intense energetic corridor. And in the external, you may be noticing an increase in electronic glitches. And it might appear as, emails or texts not sending, batteries dying, electronics dying, vehicles and appliances malfunctioning, just general disturbances in the magnetic energy that surrounds you. And within your physical body, you might actually feel like you're being pulled and stretched to your limits, almost like a balloon on the verge of bursting, or pushed into an extreme purge. You might have notice that taste buds are changing, things that you loved you can no longer stand, that your appetite is deteriorating, maybe your emotions are running haywire, you may be feeling bouts of nausea. And if this is coming up for you, there's also a very good chance that your dream state is reflecting this back to you as well. Like there is no break and no reprieve from the energies that are coming in right now. But it's such a wonderful opportunity and invitation to really start to observe what's happening around you. And it's crucial for you to observe these anomalies and allow yourself to connect and feel into the rise of this collective energy that is escalating on the planet. And it's more effectively done when you can detach from the outside influences and go within. I do feel like I have cocooned myself and gone into a deep hermit mode over the last 6 to 8 months. One, as a means of self-preservation, and two, I just needed this energetic reset and this physical reset and a reprieve from the intensity of what was happening around me. Number 2, observe your thoughts. Do not absorb them. This is a tough one because this is a time to observe, not absorb. And we have to pay close attention to the energy that we are surrounded by and also the energy that we're creating and begin to do an intensive audit. Who is the beneficiary of your most powerful currency? Is it your family, your friends, social media, groups, ideas, thoughts, beliefs? And do these interactions leave you feeling drained or energized? And what stories begin to get created when you think of conserving energy just for yourself? And not only what stories get created by you, what stories get generated around you when you pull back your energy. It's really important to remember that every situation arising within your reality is asking you to filter it through the lens of, look at what I created. Because again, you are the creator of your reality. And when something happens in your life, whether you perceive it as good or bad, the most powerful perspective you can choose is, look at what I created. And in doing so, you actively choose to take 100% responsibility and accountability for what is appearing in your reality, instead of choosing to be the victim or victor, because we're getting into a bit of an ego battle here over external forces. And when you can begin to neutralize your attachment to the emotions as they flow into your conscious awareness, you allow the lesson to begin to reveal itself. And the lessons that are revealed are the breadcrumbs that can begin to lead you home to the truth of who you are. So as you begin to align yourself more with the idea that you are the creator of your reality, and that everything that exists within your realm of perception is something that you have created in one way, shape, or form, it invokes this intense feeling of self-responsibility and accountability. And when you find yourself in that space and having to really take stock of what you are responsible for as it shows up, good or bad, it then calls you into a deeper alignment of self and an alignment with your principal agreement. And what I mean by that is when you choose to blame, finger point, and place attention on external factors, you deny the core agreements that your soul incarnated into, and thereby you choose ego over divine purpose. And it is critically important to remember that you agreed to temporarily occupy a body on earth. You are not your body. It is simply on loan to you. When you incarnated, you agreed to forget who you truly are and come in with a veil of forgetfulness. You also agreed to create experiences that cause separation. And in agreeing to create the experiences that cause separation, you also agreed to allow free will to determine the rate at which you learn, integrate, and apply the lessons learned in those seasons of separation. And once you can begin to embody the knowing that everyone and everything in your path is something you agreed to experience, you can begin to detach from the emotion contained within your body and observe the lessons your soul requires in order to ascend. So when you choose to concern yourself only with your core agreements, so core agreements being that you agreed to temporarily occupy a body, you agreed to forget who you truly are, you agreed to create experiences that cause separation, and you agreed to allow your free will to determine how quickly you're going to learn. When you can really come to terms and embody that, you then hold the power to begin to clear trauma instantly, which can allow you to hold more light and exponentially begin to increase the consciousness on earth. And this type of radical responsibility creates almost a polar shift within. And that shift requires that you have to get radically honest about how others experience you, how you experience yourself, and how you experience others. And really be willing to excavate the lessons that you agreed to learn and then let that shit go. Just let it go. And that truly is the essence and spirit of acceptance and forgiveness. That's simple yet that complicated. But it becomes incredibly difficult and a very arduous spiritual task to really sit inside of your shit and understand that some of the most negative traits and aspects that you experience in others, you have perpetrated on others. It's a very hard truth, but one that holds your key to working through the wounds that prevent you from reaching your highest potential. And being able to forgive and let things go, again, doesn't matter. It doesn't mean, and I've said this before, it doesn't mean that you are necessarily reconciling with someone or that you're letting them off the hook. You're doing it for yourself, because at the end of the day, you're here for a good time, not a long time. Grudges, anger, resentment, fear is a low vibrational frequency. And it's our attachment and embodiment of those frequencies that keep us tethered to the 3D and inside of a frequency that prevents us from fully remembering the truth of who we are. And part of that truth is truly embodying and understanding that you are eternal light energy in a body. And right now you are just temporarily substance animating form. And because of that, it's really important to remember that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed, which means you have to become radically responsible for the energy and the frequency that you move through this world with. And it's because your existence in your current form is only temporary. So if you choose to hold on to that density, you are robbing yourself of the lessons you came here to learn and transform through, and the karma that you're here to burn off, so that you don't have to repeat it again down the road. And claims that over-identify with your temporary form can impede your ability to remember who you are. So when we over-identify with other people in our reality or the systems that we believe that we are stuck inside of, it creates obstacles. And with those obstacles, how we choose to approach them is either through ease or struggle. And we will fall into struggle when we fail to fulfill those agreements that we came in with. Those agreements being the understanding that we are creating the separation we're experiencing so that we can learn a lesson. And sometimes the default programming that we fall into in an attempt to battle through these struggles of separation, we, through survival mechanisms, attempt to protect ourselves. But protection is just a form of control, and control is part of the illusion we came here to dissolve. So what it boils down to as well is, if you can begin to trust the agreements that your soul knew you needed and sent you here to fulfill, it is through that pathway of trust that at any time you have the ability to remember who you truly are, which is a magnificent being of love. This is not my airy-fairy spiritual woo-woo drivel. It is love as a state of being, as a frequency that needs to be embodied. The highest frequency that has the ability to usher in peace and dissolve the fear-based systems that we currently live inside of. And we have to remember this because we, you, I, beings that currently embody the God consciousness, are powerful manifestors and magnetic beings. And in the quantum, every possible outcome exists and is already done. And your only job is to align and maintain a frequency that honors your soul agreement and brings you closer to home, the home being the truth of who you are. And there is nothing you can build in the physical that is more powerful than the vibration you create through your remembrance of the truth of who you are. And as I said earlier, the energies right now are intense and will continue to rise over the coming days, weeks, months, years. So it's your job to remember to honor yourself and rest and hydrate and unplug and detach when you need to, and feel into the love that surrounds you. Even if it's not apparent, it is there. Remember that you are truly amazing and powerful, and that I am always here to support you. Thank you again for tuning in. If you like what you heard, if it resonated, please like, share, subscribe. Head over to grandrisingexperience.substack.com. Leave some comments, send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. And if you want to go deeper on this, you can, on the Substack page, sign up for the Cocoon, which is the private membership where we go even deeper into these truths inside of community. We look at the systems that are external, that feel like they're controlling our day-to-day. We look at the systems internal that are being reflected back to us through the external. And if you sign up right now, you will get your first 7 days free. Again, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next time.